We now join our reporter Sharon Momanyi, who has been at the Court of Appeal since this morning. Good afternoon, Sharon. How does the case look like?
Yes, good afternoon, Najma. As it appears, public education matters have momentarily moved from classrooms into courts, and now what we had this morning is a continuation of the hearings here at the Court of Appeal. We remember that the Teacher Service Commission is appealing against that ruling that was made by the Industrial Court awarding teachers 50 to 60% pay rise. Now this morning, a continuation of the hearings that began yesterday, we had the lawyer for Salaries and Remuneration Commission, just issuing his submissions to the court today. And his main argument, Najma, was that the court erred in dismissing the role of SRC in the negotiations between the teachers and their employer, stating that SRC is formed constitutionally and has a constitutional mandate, to facilitate such procedures, Najma, setting, reviewing and harmonizing the salaries of public workers. Now Feroz saying that teachers are indeed public workers, and there is no way that the court, you remember that in the ruling, Justice Ndumanderi advised Teachers Service Commission that they did not have to heed to the advice by the SRC. Now their lawyer today saying that that was an error because the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has a constitutional mandate to in fact advise and oversee such procedures. His second argument was that also constitutionally there are institutions that are bound to heed to advice by the SRC, stating that the TSC is one such institution and there's no way that SRC would be advising other institutions and other commissions and leaving TSC behind. So stating his main argument there that SRC had a crucial role in this whole negotiation process and that in fact that ruling then was an error of law. He also stated that there's no way the Teacher Service Commission would independently form a budget and take it to the Treasury, to have this award implemented, stating that there are standard operating procedures and legal procedures to such ends, saying that actually awarding such, a pay rise, which would, mean a commitment of public tax, would be an act of Parliament and not really an act of the Teacher Service Commission, being that it does not have its independent, funds, Najma. So those were the submissions that were made by the SRC's lawyer. He's the only one who made his submissions this morning, and the court adjourned at about 12 p.m. and is set to resume at 2 p.m. Najma.
Sharon, just briefly, what should we expect from this afternoon's proceedings?
What we expect is that yesterday we had the Attorney General make his submissions. We also had, representatives from the Teacher Service Commissions. We had their lawyer, Fred Ngatia, and their lawyers making the submissions yesterday. So this afternoon, the teachers will have their turn to make their submissions and responses to these submissions. This afternoon, we have their lawyer, Paul Mwite, coming to make that submissions. And we remember, Najma, that these two parties have been very adamant on their stance. The Teacher Service Commission, the SRC, the government entirely, just saying that they do not have the muscle to implement, the financial muscle to implement this award that was issued by the Industrial Court. And they have maintained this stand since the award was issued on June 30th. The teachers, on their part, have remained adamant that this must be paid to them, being an order that was made by court and thus binding to the government as well. So both parties really adamant on their stance, Najma. So we stand to see how the proceedings and how the teachers will defend their cause this afternoon.
Very much. Sharon Momanyi there at the Court of Appeal. She has been following the proceedings. It's indeed a wait-and-see game. Yesterday, the AG said that the country would have to borrow heavily to sustain the pay, which would cost the government approximately 72 billion shillings.
By TSC, which is number 196.
You need to stop the insults. They are not theatrics. We are raising legitimate issues.
Yes. Yeah,
let's keep away from insults. It's not right to tell council that they are indulging in theatrics. We are not indulging in any theatrics.
We've been trying to have very dignified proceedings from the beginning.
Yes.
But
let's keep to it.
Don't spoil the...
No, I'm not the one spoiling. I said our appeal. Our appeal is 196. Then 3 of them asked which appeal. I have said this twice. our appeal, which is TSC appeal. Really, I don't know how else I could say. And the sentence is, Lords, please, that in paragraph B, our prayers, we have said the petition be dismissed with no order as to cause.